Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Coding Cart. So in this session we will try to understand one algorithm problem. So you can see here the problem name is kangaroo. So let me first explain this problem in a simple way what they are saying. So in this problem you will be given two kangaroos, suppose K1 and K2, K1 and K2, and you will given its initial position, suppose K1 is present at x1 and K2 is present at x2. And one more thing, that K1 can jump v1 meter at a time, whereas K2 jumps v2 meter at a time. And also one constant is there, that x1 is always less than x2. Means if I draw on a number line, suppose starting from 0. So let me take one example. Suppose k1 is present at 1 and it can jump 2 meter at a time for k1. And suppose k2 is present at 2 initially and it can jump 1 meter at a time. So if I draw this on a number line, so it will look like, suppose this is 1, 2, 3 and suppose 4. Suppose k1 is present at 1. Suppose this is my x1 and k2 is present at 2, so this is my x2. So the problem is saying that if they start jumping v1 meter and k2 start jumping v2 meter, so is it possible that k1 and k2 meet at a certain point? So if they meet, then we have to return yes, if they meet, else we have to return no. So this is the problem. So you can see here, for this example, suppose k1 jumps 2 meter at a time. So if k1 jumps 1 2 meter at a time, so it reaches the point here, and k2 jumps only 1 meter at a time. So you can see here, if k2 jumps 1 meter, so you can see here at this point both k1 and k2 meets. So for this scenario we have to return yes. So this is the problem. If they can meet at a certain point, then we have to return yes, otherwise we have to return no. So let me take another example. Suppose k1 is initially present at, so let us take this one example, this one 0342. Means k1 is initially present at 0 and it can jump 3 meter at a time, and k2 is initially present at 4 and it can jump 2 meter at a time. So on a number system it will look like this: k1 is present here at 0, so this will be x1, and k2 is present at 4, so this is my x2. Now you can see here k1 jumps 3 meter at a time, so 1 2 and 3, so it reaches here, and k2 jumps 2 meter at a time, so it will jump suppose 1 2 here. Now it reaches over here. Now again k1 jumps 3 meters, suppose 1 2 and suppose 3. So you can see here in second jump it reaches here, but in second jumps k2 will reach at 1 2 here. So again k1 will jump 3 meter, 1 2 and 3, it reaches here. Now k2 will jump 2 meter at a time, 1 2, it reaches here. Now again you can see here 1 2 and 3, it reaches here. Now k2 will jump 2 meter, 1 and 2. So you can see here at this distance, they meets. So means first iteration, second iteration, third iteration, and in fourth. In their fourth jump they are meeting. In their fourth jump they are meeting. Means it is possible that they are meeting. So we have to return here yes. So this is the problem. So you can see here, this is the same example which you saw. So we have to complete this function kangaroo, in which we are given x1 v1 x2 and v2. So the approach is quite simple. So let me take one example. So the constraint is x1 is always less than x2. It means suppose x1 is here, and suppose this is my x2, means x2 will be always ahead of x1. Now let us take case wise. Suppose case 1, suppose v2 is greater than v1, means jumping meter for v2 means kangaroo 2 is greater than v1. Suppose let me take for example, suppose this is 5 and it can jump only 2 at a time. So if it jumps 5, so it reaches here, but for v1 it is 2, so it will jump only 2. So you can see here they will never meet. For this scenario they will never meet. It x2 will always be ahead of x1 whenever this v2 is greater than v1. So you can see here they will never meet. This is the first iteration. In second iteration it will go 1 2 3 4 5 here, and it jumps only 2 meter, it will reach here. So you can see here x2 is always greater than x1. This is the case already given, but whenever this v2 is greater than v1, then they will never meet. So first scenario is whenever v2 is greater than v1, they will never meet. Now second case, suppose v2 is equal to v1. So for example, suppose let me draw here. Suppose for k1 we have it is present at 0 and it can jump 3 at a time, and k2 is present at suppose 1 and it can jump suppose 3 at a time. So you can see here this v1 and this v2, v1 and v2 are equal. So let us draw over here. So this is 0 and this is x1, and k2 is suppose here this is my 1, so this is my x2. So in the problem they are given that x2 is always greater than x1. Now you can see here v2 and v1 both are equal, which is equal to 3. Suppose in first iteration x1 will jump 1 2 and 3, and again x2 will jump 1 2 and 3. Again this was my first iteration. Again x1 will jump 1 2 and 3, second iteration. And for this x2 you can see here first, second and third. So you can see here whenever this v2 and v1 both are equal, they will just move ahead but never meet at each other. So you can see here they will never meet. Again if you draw third iteration, suppose 1 2 and 3, so it will reach here, and again you can see 1 2 and 3, we are getting the same pattern, so they will never meet. So you can see here whenever this v2 is greater than v1, and at the same time if or v2 is equal to v1, they will never meet. So we are done here, two test case scenario. Now let me take one more example. Suppose another example, like suppose x x1 is present at 0 and it is having jumping meter suppose 3. This is for k1, and suppose for k2 we have it is present at 3 and jumping is 2. So on a number line it will look like 1 0, x1 is present and k2 is present at 3. This is x2. Now at a time you can see x1 is jumping 3 meter, so 1 2 and 3 for the very first iteration, and k2 is jumping only 2, so 1 and 2, it will reach here. Now again you will see this is the first iteration 1 2 3. In the second iteration we reach here, so here for the second iteration it will reach 1 2 two times. Now this is my second, so for third 1 2 and 3, so in third iteration it's reached here. So for this third iteration it will reach 1 2, so they meet over here. So in the third iteration they meet, so it will return yes. So the approach is while x1 is less than x2. While x1 is less than x2, we have to add, we'll simply move forward. Means we'll update x1 by initial x1 plus the jumping distance, and x2 by x2 equal to initial x2 plus v2. Correct? And we will check if my x1 is equal to x2, then we'll return yes, otherwise we will return no. So we have to only check one condition, and for these two test cases they will be covered in only one line. So let us try to write the code. So you can see here we have if v2 is greater than equal to, so we are adding in same line these two test cases, whether this is greater or equal. If v2 is greater than or equal to v1, then it is not possible. Here we will simply return no. No. Otherwise, we will iterate while x1 is less than x2. While x1 is less than x2, it will jump and will simply add x1 plus equal to v1 and x2 plus equal to v2. Means x1 equal to x1 plus v1 and x2 equal to x2 plus v2. Now we will check if x1 is equal to x2. If they are meeting, then we will simply return yes. If they are not meeting, suppose a scenario will come like, for example, suppose this is my number line, suppose this is my x1 and suppose this is my x2. A scenario will come like, suppose this is moving 3 at a time and this is moving suppose 4 at a time, suppose 2 at a time, 2 at a time. Again suppose this is moving 3 at a time. A case will come like this, x1 is greater than x2, so it will simply break out the loop. Now it will simply return yes, otherwise we have to return no. If they are matching, means whenever this x1 is equal to x2, it will simply return yes, or when this condition fails, means when x1 cross x2, then we have to return no, means that case is not possible. Return no. So we are done. So let us try to run this code. Run this code. So you can see here it is passing all the sample test case. Let me submit this code. So you can see here there are 29 test cases. So congratulations, we are done with all the hidden test cases. So this was one approach. So now let me explain you another approach. Suppose this is my number line. Suppose this is my x1 present over here and x2 present over here. Now let they meet at distance y. Suppose here at distance y after n jumps. So this y will be equal to x1 initial distance x1. Suppose this is my origin 0. So y will be x1, this x1 plus this n into the jump v1. Correct? Now again y is same for x2 also. So for it will be x2 this distance plus after n jumps it will be n into v2, and these both are equal. These both are equal to y. So we can equate these two equation. So x1 plus n into v1 equal to x2 plus n into v2. So this implies n equal to x1 minus x2 by v2 minus v1. So this is the total number of jumps, means after how many jumps they will meet. So this is the total number of jumps. So we know that this total number of jumps won't be a fraction jump like 3 by 2 jumps or 5 by 2 jumps. It will always be an integer. So to make this x1 minus x2 by v2 minus v1, to make it is an integer. So for example, suppose we have 12 by suppose 5. So this will give me a fraction. This will give me a fraction. Suppose I have a value like, to make this an integer, to check whether this is an integer or not, we will simply check whether 12 modular this 5 equal to 0 or not. If it is 0 means it is getting divided by this 5. So same scenario we will use here. We'll simply use if my x1 minus x2 modular v2 minus v1. If this is possible, then we'll simply get a integer value. If this x1 minus x2 modular v2 minus v1 is possible, means we are getting 0, means it is, means whenever we divide, suppose we have value like 16 by 4. Now if we are dividing 16 modular 4, we will simply get 0. If you are using modular operation, it will give 0. So whenever we divide like 16 divided by 4, it will give 4. But if you are checking like this 16 modular 4, if it gives 0, then it is divisible. So we'll apply the same logic over here. So we'll check this logic. So let us write this logic. If this value gives 0, then it is possible. Otherwise it will print no. Means number of jumps cannot be fraction. So this is the logic. This is the equation we'll write here. So let us delete this one and write one line equation. Suppose if x1 minus x2 modular v2 minus v1, if it's equal to 0, means we are getting a integer value for number of jumps. So it will simply return yes, otherwise it will return no. So let us run this code. So you can see here it is running fine. Let me submit this code. So you can see here all the test case got cleared. So congratulations. So this was the two method. One was our using if else and while loop, and another is using simple mathematical equation. So if you like this video, please do give thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and stay tuned for the next video. Thanks for watching.